Some films do not get the conversation they deserve. Not because they're bad, not because they're difficult, because the algorithm didn't push them, the marketing wasn't there, or they landed in a year when something louder drowned them out. This list is 15 of those mystery thrillers. Some old, some recent. All of them genuinely excellent that are flying completely under the radar. Number 1 on this list is a courtroom thriller that announced one of the greatest acting careers in cinema, Edward Norton. His first major film role. A performance so controlled and so precise that it earned him an Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe win straight out of the gate. If you haven't seen it, and statistically most people watching this haven't, you are in for something. 15 films, all of them insanely good, none of them talked about enough. Let's go. Number 15, Enemy.
Who was on the phone?
The same guy who called before. Same guy.
Are you lying to me?
A history professor in Toronto spots an actor in a film who is his exact physical double. Same face, same voice, same scar on the chest. He becomes obsessed with finding him. And when he does, things get considerably worse. Denis Villeneuve directed this the same year he made Prisoners, 2 completely different films released back-to-back, which tells you everything about what kind of filmmaker he is. Enemy is the stranger one. Adapted from Jose Saramago's novel, The Double, it is a slow-burn psychological puzzle that operates on the logic of a dream rather than the logic of a plot. Jake Gyllenhaal plays both men, and the performance is extraordinary. 2 distinct personalities sharing the same face, the same body, the same scar, with Gyllenhaal making sure you never lose track of which one you're watching. The final image is one of the most jarring single shots in recent cinema. No context, no explanation, just a cut that lands like a trap door. People either find this film maddening or they find it extraordinary. I've watched it 3 times. Each time I understand it differently. Each time I'm not sure the version I understood before was wrong. This is not a film that explains itself. It's a film that stays. Number 14. I See You.
Justin Witter, 10 years old. Went missing on a bike ride last night near Troubadour Park. Park ranger found the bike. No boy.
Strange things start happening in the Harper household. Objects disappear, appliances switch on by themselves. A boy has gone missing in town, and Detective Greg Harper is leading the investigation while his marriage quietly falls apart. It looks like a haunted house film. It is not a haunted house film. Director Adam Randall, working from Devin Gray's screenplay, plays the audience brilliantly for the entire first half. Then, at roughly the midpoint, the film reveals what you have actually been watching. Everything resets. The second half becomes a completely different film. Smarter, more disturbing, more original than the first half suggested. Helen Hunt leads. John Tenney plays her detective husband. The Hollywood Reporter called it a finely crafted exercise in slow-burn suspense. Almost nobody saw it at the theaters. Bombed at the box office. Later, thriller fans discovered and called it a hidden gem. The first act is deliberately ordinary. Push through it. It will leave you stunned. Number 13. The Invitation.
I'm so glad you're here. We've got a lot to talk about. So much to celebrate tonight.
Will attends a dinner party at his ex-wife's house in the Hollywood Hills. He hasn't been back to this house since their son died here. His ex-wife Eden and her new husband David have invited all their old friends. Everyone is warm, everyone is generous. David has something he'd like to share about a community he and Eden have joined. And from here, the film takes a complete U-turn. Karen Kusama directed this, and she does something extraordinary with dread. She never tells you whether Will's mounting suspicion is grief-distorted paranoia or the correct reading of a genuinely dangerous situation. Both possibilities remain fully plausible for the entire runtime. Logan Marshall Green plays Will. Tammy Blanchard plays Eden. John Carroll Lynch shows up in a role that turns the temperature of the room the moment he appears. The film holds its ambiguity with surgical precision. When it finally commits to what it is, it commits completely. 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Made on a small budget. shot in 11 days. One of the finest slow burn thrillers of the 2000s. Number 12. Run. Chloe Sherman has never left home. She uses a wheelchair. She has multiple chronic conditions, all of them managed by her devoted single mother, Diane, played by Sarah Paulson. Their life together is a closed, careful circuit. Homeschooled, medicated, protected. Then Chloe finds a prescription bottle with her mother's name on it, filled with a medication not prescribed for any of her conditions. Anish Chaganty directed this, the same director who made Searching, and what follows is a film about the specific terror of realizing that the person you depend entirely on for your survival may be the thing you need to survive. Kiera Allen plays Chloe in her feature debut. She is a genuine wheelchair user, a deliberate casting decision by Chaganty, and is extraordinary. The film is tight, focused, and refuses to waste a scene. At 90 minutes, it doesn't overstay anything. And Sarah Paulson, playing warmth and menace in the same breath, is terrifying. It became Hulu's most successful original film on release. 89 minutes. One of the most efficiently constructed thrillers of the 2020s. Number 11. Disconnect.
Everything you do, someone out there can see.
3 storylines. 3 different ways the internet is dismantling 3 different families. A journalist who goes undercover in a teen webcam operation and finds something she wasn't prepared to find. A couple whose identity has been stolen by teenagers who had no idea how much damage they were actually doing. A father whose son is being cyberbullied by 2 boys who cannot comprehend the consequences of what they're starting. Henry Alex Rubin directed this in 2012. Which means he made a film about social media, digital privacy, and online cruelty before most of those conversations had fully entered public consciousness. The cast is extraordinary. Jason Bateman, Alexander Skarsgård, Paula Patton, and Andrea Riseborough all are extraordinary. What makes Disconnect genuinely devastating is that it refuses to assign clean blame. Every character made a choice. Every choice had a cost. Nobody is a villain. Everyone is responsible. The 3 storylines don't intersect neatly. They run parallel, occasionally touching, never resolving into a tidy lesson. Life doesn't give you lessons, it gives you consequences. Still, the most honest film about how we actually live online. And still, almost nobody has seen it. Number 10. Red Rooms.
Ce qu'on va tenter d'établir ici, c'est que Ludovic Chevalier est l'auteur de ces meurtres, qu'il a filmé pour un auditoire privé, prêt à payer pour voir ça en direct, dans ce qu'on appelle des Red Rooms.
A French-language film. Not for the faint-hearted. One of the most formally rigorous thrillers of recent years. A young woman travels to Montreal to attend the murder trial of a man accused of killing 3 teenage girls. She is obsessed with the case. She attends every day. She watches the courtroom with total focus. We don't know why. Not at first. Pascal Plante made this for almost nothing and created one of the most genuinely disturbing films of recent years. Not through gore, not through violence, but through what it reveals about obsession, complicity, and the dark web economies that grow around real suffering. Juliette Garriapie plays Kellyanne. She's beautiful, composed, and almost expressionless. The film exists in moral freefall. It never tells you how to feel about Kellyanne. It never reassures you. It just follows her with absolute, unflinching attention, through the courtroom, through the darknet, through the night, and lets you sit with the discomfort of not being able to look away. 100 minutes, almost no score. The silence does the work. This disturbed me in a way I wasn't prepared for. That's the highest recommendation I can give it. And before I get to number 9, I want to flag something. The next 4 entries are where this list starts operating at a completely different level of craft. Number 7 in particular, a Roman Polanski film about a ghostwriter who discovers his famous client's memoir contains something far more dangerous than anyone anticipated, is one of the most precise political thrillers of the past 2 decades. Keep watching. Number 9. Sneakers. Martin Bishop runs a small company of experts who break into buildings to test their security. They are very good at it. Then two government men appear with an offer that isn't really an offer. Retrieve a small black box from a mathematician's office. Phil Alden Robinson made this in 1992. The cast is extraordinary. Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd, River Phoenix, Ben Kingsley, Mary McDonnell, and David Strathairn. A group of actors so committed to each other's company that every scene crackles with the specific warmth of people who actually enjoy the work. Sneakers is a film that is never quite given its due in conversations about great thrillers, perhaps because it's funny, and people assume funny means lighter. It isn't lighter. The black box turns out to be a device that can break any encryption system on the planet. Banks, governments, military communications, all of it. The film is warm, witty, technically clever, and underneath all of that, a story about old friends, old betrayals, and what people are willing to do when the stakes stop being theoretical. Not every film on this list will disturb you. Some of them are just enormous fun. This is one of those, and it's been underseen for 30 years. Number 8, The Gift.
We went to school together.
Sorry, I can't place you.
Gordon Mosley. Gordo.
Gordo? Honey, Gordo and I went to school together. That was a very long time ago.
Simon and Robin have just moved to Los Angeles. New house, new start. Simon's career is going well. The marriage looks solid. Then an old acquaintance from Simon's high school turns up in a shop. His name is Gordo. He's quiet, polite, a little odd. He leaves a gift on their doorstep. Then another. Joel Edgerton wrote, directed, and plays Gordo. And what he constructs, with extraordinary patience and precision, is a film that keeps shifting who you're afraid of. For 30 minutes, you're afraid of Gordo. And then, very carefully, without announcing itself, the film starts suggesting that you might have been afraid of the wrong person the whole time. Jason Bateman plays Simon, and Bateman does something that should have generated considerably more discussion. He plays likable in a way that curdles. The charm it works in comedy becomes something slightly different here. Something that makes you watch his face in certain scenes and wonder exactly what he's capable of. The ending of The Gift is one of the finest and most satisfying pieces of thriller architecture. I promise you won't see it coming. It's leaving soon on Prime Video. If you haven't seen it yet, then watch it tonight. Number 7, The Ghostwriter.
The manuscript is not to be removed from this room. It's not to be copied. That would be a security risk.
So, how do we go about this?
I interview you and turn your answers into prose.
Ready to start?
Absolutely.
A ghostwriter is hired to finish the memoirs of a former British Prime Minister. The previous ghostwriter died in suspicious circumstances. Police called it an accident. He flies to a remote island compound. He meets the man. He starts reading the manuscript, and somewhere in the pages between the diplomatic language and the careful omissions, he finds something that wasn't meant to be found. Roman Polanski made this in 2010 while under house arrest in Switzerland, unable to leave the country. And he made it look like a man pouring every ounce of his craft into a single act of pure filmmaking. Ewan McGregor plays the ghost. We never learn his name, with a quality that's almost entirely reactive. Pierce Brosnan plays the Prime Minister. The film was shot before Blair and Iraq had fully calcified into what they became, and watching it now, with everything we know, makes it feel considerably less like fiction. The cinematography is gray and washed and cold. The ending is abrupt. Violently, deliberately abrupt. You will not see it coming. You will sit with it for a long time after. Number 6, The Dry.
Luke drove to his house at 4:30, killed his family, then headed here to kill himself.
Federal agent Aaron Falk returns to Kiwara, the drought-stricken Australian town he left 20 years ago, to attend the funeral of his childhood friend Luke, whose death has been ruled a murder-suicide involving Luke's wife and young son. Aaron is not welcome. The town has never stopped blaming him for the drowning death of a girl when they were teenagers. Eric Bana plays Falk. Robert Connolly directed this from Jane Harper's best-selling debut novel. What The Dry does beautifully is layer two mysteries on top of each other, the present-day deaths and the 20-year-old one, and let them interlock in ways that neither fully resolves without the other. It's enthralling with character intrigue, clever plot twists, and red herrings to keep viewers guessing till the end. The film holds a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and made $17.1 million globally, enormous for an Australian independent. Outside Australia, almost nobody has heard of it. If you love slow-burn mystery thrillers, go watch this tonight. Number 5. Searching.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, sweetheart. Where are you?
Study group. I'm gonna go all night.
Oh, one more thing. I want to know
Dad.
about the final you took today.
David Kim's 16-year-old daughter Margot doesn't come home. He calls, she doesn't answer. 37 hours later, with the investigation stalled, he opens her laptop and starts going through the digital life he didn't know she was living. The entire film is told through computer screens, smartphone interfaces, FaceTime calls, news footage, and security camera footage. Anish Chaganty directed this less than $1 million film, his feature debut, and it made $75.6 million worldwide. John Cho plays David Kim in the first mainstream Hollywood thriller ever headlined by an Asian American. What he does in a film where he's mostly staring at a computer screen is one of the more technically demanding and emotionally precise performances of recent years. The grief, the panic, and guilt of a father who realizes he didn't know who his daughter actually was are present in every Google search, every Facebook profile he finds, every comment section he reads. The final act moves fast and goes somewhere genuinely unexpected, and it lands completely. 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. One of the most formally inventive thrillers of its decade. Number 4. The Outfit.
Please, sirs, I don't want any trouble.
This is the film I'd put forth. Not because it's weaker than what's above it, but because what's above it does something I've never seen another film do. Mark Rylance plays Leonard Burling, a Savile Row-trained cutter running a small tailor shop in 1950s Chicago. His clients include the local Irish mob. On one particular night, all of them come through the door. There's a tape, there's a rat, there's money, and Leonard, quiet, measured, utterly unflappable, finds himself trapped in the middle of a situation that keeps getting more dangerous by the minute. The film was shot almost entirely in one location, the tailor shop, over a few weeks. Graham Moore wrote and directed it, the man who wrote The Imitation Game, and it is a masterclass in what you can do with a locked room, a great cast, and a script that never shows its seams. Rylance is the reason to watch this. He builds a character through raised eyebrows, a slight tightening of the jaw, a single carefully chosen word where anyone else would have said 3. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, one of the most underrated films of the last 5 years. Don't miss it! Number 3. Arlington Road. Jeff Bridges plays Michael Faraday, a university professor who teaches about domestic terrorism, whose wife, an FBI agent, was killed in a botched raid. So he already knows what paranoia feels like. He already knows how it warps things, which makes it even harder to trust himself when his new neighbors start acting strangely. Tim Robbins plays Oliver Lang, affable, family man, great with his kids. And Jeff Bridges is not sure whether he's a terrorist or whether he's just projecting. The genius of Arlington Road is that question. Is Faraday paranoid or right? And the film holds it beautifully, longer than you'd expect, letting you oscillate, letting you decide, getting you quietly invested in the possibility that it's just paranoia. And then the ending arrives. I won't say what happens. I'll say that when it came out in 1999, it felt like a provocative thriller. Watching it now, it feels like something stranger, more uncomfortable, more prophetic. It's the kind of film that sticks with you not because of how it ends, but because of what that ending means. Number 2. Identity.
What happened at the motel? People started dying.
10 Strangers. A Nevada motel in a violent rainstorm. Roads washed out, phones down, no way in, no way out. One by one, they start dying. They don't know who's killing them. They don't know why. James Mangold built a trap. The setup is pure Agatha Christie. Strangers, sealed location, dwindling suspects, and for 40 minutes it functions brilliantly as exactly that. Then the film reveals a second story running parallel, a convicted killer's 11th hour hearing, the night before his execution, as new evidence is presented that might prove his innocence. John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet, Clea Duvall, Alfred Molina. Every performance is pitched at exactly the right frequency. The revelation, when it arrives, does something genuinely rare. It doesn't just change the ending, it changes the genre. The film you thought you were watching becomes retroactively a different film, and neither version is less true than the other. I watched this for the first time 7 years ago. I've watched it more than 10 times since. Each time something else snaps into place. 90 minutes, one location, one of the most satisfying locked room mysteries of the 2000s. Number 1. Primal Fear. An altar boy is found fleeing the scene of Archbishop Rushman's brutal murder in Chicago, covered in the victim's blood. Martin Vale is a defense attorney. He takes the case for the publicity. He does not believe in the boy's innocence. Not initially, but he is very good at winning regardless. Richard Gere plays Vale. Laura Linney plays the prosecutor, his ex-colleague and ex-lover. John Mahoney, Alfre Woodard, Frances McDormand fill out a cast that is doing its finest work. And then there is Edward Norton. This was Norton's film debut. He auditioned by sending in a tape performing both personalities, switching mid-scene, and won the role over Leonardo DiCaprio, who had also been considered. What he does in this film is not a trick. It is a complete, technically flawless, psychologically precise performance in two registers so different that audiences in 1996 spent significant time debating whether two different actors had been used. He received the Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He did not win. The Academy occasionally gets things profoundly wrong. Gregory Hoblit directed with the restraint of someone who understood that the performances were the architecture, and everything else was just walls. The final scene of Primal Fear is one of the great endings in American thriller cinema. I won't describe it. I will say, watch the whole film and then sit in that final scene and understand that what you just witnessed was something genuinely, technically extraordinary from a 26-year-old actor in his first major role. That's why it's number 1. And that's a wrap on today's list. 15 thrillers, all of them deserving more than the attention they've received. Now, I want to hear from you. Which one are you adding to your watch list first? And if there's an underrated mystery thriller that you think deserved a spot on this list, let me know in the comments. I read every single one of them. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Cine Edge for more hidden gems, underrated masterpieces, and the best movie recommendations you'll find anywhere. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep watching great movies.